chicka, bow, wow, chicka, wow, wow.
Alright, we're continuing with our unit on trigonometry. Today we're going to look at Heron's formula, or sometimes called Heron's formula with an N on the end, which helps you find the area of a triangle. Now, you already have a formula, area equals base times height divided by 2, which can help you find the area of a triangle. Or you may also have looked at the trig area formula, AB sine C divided by 2. But the advantage with Heron's formula is it allows you to find the area of a triangle if you have all three side lengths. So with base times height divided by 2, you need to have the height and the base. And in order to use the trig area formula, you need side angle side, two sides at an angle. So with Heron's formula, we can simply do it by knowing all three sides. And this is possible basically because if you remember going back to isometric triangles, if we have two triangles that have the same side length, they must be congruent, which means they've got the same size, and therefore they must have the same area as well. So let's take a look at the formula. So when you first see it, the formula looks a little bit nasty, but we're going to break down the pieces and we'll see it's actually not so bad. So the first thing is P. This P is actually a small case P, and it stands for the half perimeter. Now normally when you write the uppercase or capital P, it stands for the perimeter. For the half perimeter, as it sounds, we just find the perimeter and then we divide by 2. The A, B, and C just represent the sides of the triangle. If you label it for sign law, where we have the sides are labeled opposite with the lowercase letter opposite the angle of the same letter, A, B, and C just represent our three side lengths. So all Heron's formula really says is to find the area, I'm going to first calculate the half perimeter by adding up the three sides and dividing by 2. I'm then going to multiply that by the difference between the half perimeter and each of the three sides, and then take the square root at the end. And that'll give us the area. Now, if you were to, just as an example, if we looked at a unit, say a perimeter was in centimeters, well, each of these calculations would be in centimeters as well. You'd have centimeters times centimeters times centimeters times centimeters, which would be to the power of 4, and then we take the square root, which would give us centimeters squared, which would make sense for area. So let's take a look at an example. All right, so we're asked what is the area of this triangle. And again, we can take a look and see that we're given all three side lengths. So this is basically what you need in order to do Heron's formula. So first let's take a look at our formula again. So it says area equals the square root of the half perimeter times the half perimeter minus A, half perimeter minus B, and half perimeter minus C. Now we haven't labeled our sides yet, so I'm going to go ahead and label this triangle just like you would for sign law. We use capital letters to represent our vertices, and then the lowercase letter opposite. Now it doesn't really matter with Heron's formula which side is A, which side is B, and which side is C, so long as when we're doing our calculations that we make sure we include all three side lengths. So I'm going to start with by calculating P, which is the half perimeter. I'm going to do that as a little side calculation. So to do that, we simply take the three side lengths. So we have 5.5 centimeters, 8.5 centimeters, and 11 centimeters. We're going to add those all up and then divide by 2. Again, if we just added them up, we'd have the perimeter, and dividing by 2 gives us the half perimeter. So 8 and 5 is 13, 14, 24, and 25. So we have 25 divided by 2, and 20 divided by 2 is 12.5. All right, now we're going to go over to our formula, and we can now fill in all our values. So A is our area, square root, half perimeter is 12.5, and then I'm going to take the difference between the half perimeter and each of my sides. So since I've labeled it A, B, and C, side A would be 8.5, side B 12.5 is 11, and then side C is 5.5. I'm going to continue this line over here. It's a little messy, but you get the picture. And then, of course, we have to remember order of operations, brackets first, and then we go from there. So 12.5 we'll leave alone. And 12.5 minus 8.5 you can probably do in your head. That's going to be 4. 12.5 minus 11, that's 1.5. And then 12.5 minus 5.5 is 7. So at this point in time, you're going to need your calculator, if you didn't already need it. And we're going to bring it up. zoom up over here, slide over. And we're basically going to multiply these values. So we have 12.5 times 4 times 1.5 times 7. And that gives us 525. So that means the area of this triangle will equal the square root of 525. And we go back to your calculator, square root of 525. And that gives us an area of 22.9. 22.9, and our unit, in this case, since it's centimeters, area would be square centimeters. There you have it. That's about as hard as it gets. Thanks for watching, and check out the other videos for more on trigonometry and lots of other concepts. Bye-bye.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.